What's up guys, D_Blacktail here, and today we're going to be doing another Samurai 8 video. Today we're going to be talking about the story so far, and this is going to be talking about the first 20 chapters of the story so far, and talking about the story layout and everything that we've gotten basically from the first 20 chapters basically. So let's get into it. So the first figure that we really have to talk about is the guy who gave birth to all samurai. He basically is the reason Daruma, Hachimaru, Ata, Ronin, Hagamichi, and many others have their abilities. And and it's not really hinted as to how he's given us how this is possible, but it's kind of given to us how they go about being created. So I think we're going to get a backstory on later how this technology and how he was able to put it out there later on in the story. But he gave birth to all samurai basically. So in the story, he's basically their godlike figure, and he basically left these little gifts called stars, and these stars are called locker balls. Alright, and Daruma goes on to explain that these stars were left behind by the warrior god to create samurai to protect the galaxy, right? I'm not really sure what they were protecting the galaxy from, because there was a need to create multiple samurai schools, as I'm going to explain later on, and the different galaxies. So I believe after everything is wrapped up with the current, boxes and whatnot, maybe we'll get like another story, like a time skip basically, dealing with whatever else needs to be dealt with. So, but anyways, that's off topic. Anyways, so these locker balls or stars or whatever you want to call them, they give the ability to samurai, and so you basically have to commit seppuku first, right? And once you commit seppuku, the locker ball either chooses you to become a samurai or you die, basically. Well, Ata brings up that you die anyways. So, well, technically you die twice. So either you get the power or you don't get the power. You're basically chosen by the locker ball. And so once you activate the locker ball, right, you become a samurai. I did a video explaining how this all works, how the powers and everything are interconnected. So I'm not gonna go too in depth into in this video. So I'll post a link to that video down below. But once you become a samurai, basically, you're able to modify your body any type of way. And you're able to survive in space. You can regenerate, and so far that's all we've seen really, is being able to regenerate. Oh, you get a samurai soul, that's pretty cool. But so now that we've gotten that out of the way, we need to talk about what Fudo Myo basically gave samurai, and that's the power to connect and disconnect. So it's basically samurai are basically able to connect everything around them, like their particles and beings, so they're able to regen, or for Hayataro, or their key holders, they're able to like makeshift their bodies and change their structure into different types of objects, so they're able to fly. And I discussed that in the video as well. They're able to fly, samurais are able to regen and all that good stuff. So now that we've gotten that kind of out of the way, we can finally start to get into the actual world itself. So now that we've talked about Fudo Myo, we can talk about everything else that he left behind besides the locker balls, right? So he left behind, or he recognized like 4 great warriors possibly, and it created these 4 schools, right? So far we've only actually know of one, and that is the Kongo Yosha style, and that is a style that Daruma's from. And I assume Hachimaru's gonna eventually be able to use these techniques. He hasn't downloaded the license or become part of the school yet, I assume, but Daruma's gonna be teaching him moves, so I assume we're gonna get that pretty soon. So the founder, or I assume like the headmaster right now, is Yasha, and she's she's kind of like the head figure right now, and she's supposed to be holding back the great like the destroyer or whatever, like that's the Kongo Yasha's purpose, right? and Daruma's purpose is to find Pandora's box to beat the Destroyer, basically. So that's how everything kind of ties in right now. So the Kongo Yasha is, I'm assuming they have their own galaxies, right? So the Kongo Yasha is the owner of one galaxy, and each other school has their own galaxy that they're under and they control, right? So that gets me thinking, like, what outside thing, or like, is there something like that they have to protect the galaxies from? Or like, is it just from themselves? Do they act as like individual countries type of thing? Or like, is it like they all come together whenever necessary to protect the world from whatever's out there? And I guess this like creates an impeccable story, and that we're probably gonna get from Kishimoto, and it sets up anything is possible in this story. But let's get back to it. So the Four Samurai School, since we only know one, there is another that is like a hidden school that isn't a part of all the other schools, and like its sole purpose is to destroy and fight against all the other planets and galaxies, and like completely wipe them out and restore the world to its prior purpose, or that's what Ata's goal is. And that is, so the Uzusama Style's sole purpose is to destroy the other galaxies for whatever reason. But it turns out the headmaster, which is he was a warrior of Fudo Myo apparently back in the day when Fudo Myo, I guess, was going about the galaxy doing his things. And he's been out here, but he goes by the name of Kala, right? And I guess his sole purpose, he just wants to show he's badass. Who knows? But he was him and Yasha have been apparently fighting for centuries. And I guess they just have beef with each other. I have no idea why. But apparently they have a long history. Even so that Hagamichi, who is a samurai now, however old he was, but he noted that if it was a samurai of the Uzusama style, that they would have an issue. So we don't really know much about them outside of that purpose, really. But we do know a notable member is Atu. And these other 7 samurai, Hachimaru's brothers, basically. And Dr. Furuta worked for them. Yeah, they just seem to be hell-bent on destruction, basically. So we will talk about so next I want to talk about the different quadrants or quadrants. Yeah. So there seems to be different quadrants or regions in each galaxy. So I want to think that and this is all headcanon, by the way. I want to think that in each region, in each like galaxy, that there's like a hierarchy to each region, and so it would go from like the triangle that we see. The triangular planets are like the strongest regions in a particular galaxy, and we see this with Yasha, right? And Yasha's in this area, and I feel like this would be like where all the intense fighting and stuff, and like the hierarchy and like the high-ranking people will be, handling everything, because it seemed like there was like a fight going on at the time in the first panel, because we see like a planet being cut in half and everything. So, and I think next we see like a square region, so I guess this would be the next tier, and this is where Ata is, and it's more like a dry, barren type of land. It looks more like a desert, like a Sahara desert, or like a Grand Canyon-y type of place. And that's where Ata and Ikkaku were. So I think that's like the second level. And I think the third would be Hachimaru's, wherever Hachimaru was. And I think that because when Ata comes there, he completely destroys Mujin. Like no problem. And Mugen is supposed to be like the head samurai of this particular planet. So seeing him being able to completely obliterate someone that's supposed to be like the head samurai of this planet, I think that he's just like on a higher tier in general. So I think everyone that was in that particular region that Atu was in are able to be like planet busters, maybe. That's headcanon, by the way. But Hachimaru basically is in one of the weaker regions, and we'll see him, you know, rise up eventually in rank as he goes from planet to planet, kind of like a One Piece Grand Line type of thing. Like you go from the East Blue to the Grand Line to the New World. Well, it's all the Grand Line, but you know, you go from Paradise to the New World, basically. So that's how I think it's gonna eventually play out. So next we're gonna talk about the warrior dojos. It's like a little segment. We first see this with Nanashi, and he's training to become basically these warriors, or like bunshin. I guess they're in training to become samurai, and like the select few of them are allowed to become samurai. So these warrior dojos, I assume, are going to be throughout each of the different regions of the galaxy, and I think they're mostly just affiliated with a particular style, because I believe Hagamichi is of the Kunguyasha as well. So we have stations, and that's where Hachimaru and them there's their first stop in space after destroying Moon. And here you see this little space station. You're able to get gas for your trip or whatever, you know, food for your holder, you know, groceries for your trip, whatever you need to basically go handle your business. That's pretty much it. Let me know down below what you guys think. Yeah, that's all I got. Talk to you guys later. Oh, follow me on Twitter at D_Blacktay. Peace.